everybody, it's Wendy, and today I am going to do 19 pair of tiny earrings with you. So before you gasp and freak out a little bit, these are very, very simple, small earrings. So on my Facebook group a couple of weeks ago, I asked people what they would like to see me do in my videos on YouTube, and one of the responses was smaller earrings. Several people said that they like to wear earrings, but the trend right now is big and bulky and they don't like that. So I'm going to show you a bunch of different styles of small earrings that are super quick and super simple. So the main things you're going to need, well, you're going to need lots of things. I'll go over each one as we do it, but you're going to need your jewelry tools and you're going to need some E6000 glue. Those are two major things, okay? So for the first pair, I tried to pull out a bunch of things with variety and different styles of ear wires, okay? So these are kidney ear wires. They're really tiny, petite little ones. They open just like this, slip right in your ear this way and hang, but they're not big. They're not bulky. They're not too dangly. And then they close just like that. Then you've got this little loop for something to hang on. So we're going to make a tiny pair of dangles. You need 2 ball head pins. These are 26 gauge. You need 2 kidney ear wires. You need 4 tiny beads. Now these are true 2 beads. Whoops. They are fire polish beads, and they're exactly 2 millimeters, and I got them from Hobby Lobby when they had a sale. And I just lost one. There they are. They're very tiny. And then you need 2 beads of your choice. I chose these freshwater pearls just because I think they're really pretty and elegant looking. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our ball head pin and we're going to put on a true 2, a freshwater pearl, or whatever bead you chose, and another true 2. Now you can use seed beads, you can use spacers, you can use anything. We're going to make a wrapped loop because I feel like these head pins are too thin to do just a regular loop. You really need to do a wrap loop for security. So you need to bend it at a 90-degree angle with your chain nose pliers. And then we're going to take our round nose pliers, and way down at the end here, we're going to grab on and we're going to flip this up and over. So this is what you would have. And then we're just going to go on around. We're going to rotate our plier up and go right on around like that. And you have a little loop, okay? Now you need to grab your loop with your pliers and we're going to wrap, but you have to be very careful because these little true 2s, if you're using them, they will break and you don't want to break it. So I'm just going to wrap around a couple of times. So 1 and 2. And that is all I'm going to do, just like that. I don't want it to be very big of a wrap. I just want it to be secure. That's all I'm really even doing it for. Okay, so then we have our little loop here. Straighten it up a little bit. And we're going to take our little kidney ear wire, open it up, and we're just going to take this little dangle and hang it right here on the kidney and close it up. Now if you want, you can take this little loop right here and kind of squeeze it shut just a tad. It will kind of squeeze shut a little. And there you have it. It's a very, very tiny, delicate, small little earring. Okay, so let's make our other one real quick. True 2, freshwater pearl, and true 2. Okay, just put them right on there. We are going to bend this at a 90-degree angle. We're going to take our chain nose pliers and go up and over. Rotate the pliers and go all the way around. There's what we've got, our teeny tiny little loop, which is exactly what we want. And then we're just going to wrap a couple of times. Okay. Super quick, super simple, really dainty and elegant little pair of earrings. Okay. Let's open the kidney. Put this little guy right up and over and close your kidney back. Whoops. And again, if you want to bend this a little, you can. You don't have to. And there they are. Tiny little dainty, cute little earrings. I think these are adorable. And they're just not big. They're not bulky. They're not gonna, you know, overwhelm anybody's ears. So there is pair number 1. Okay? So for pair number 2, what you're going to need are some post ear wires. So that's these right here. They're just a post. They're flat. And then you're going to need some cabochons of your choice. I've got these pieces of mother of pearl here. I think these are so beautiful. We're going to bring our E6000 in, and literally all we're going to do, let me get my glue. I've lost the lid to this, which is terrible. Okay, we're just going to put a little on our post. Now you want to put a good amount, because this glue, when you press this post down on here, it will come out the sides, but it will shrink back up a little bit as it dries. Put it right in the middle of your mother of pearl, or whatever you're using, whatever cabochon you're using. Just like this. You can use any cabochon. You could use a flat bead. You could use anything, literally. If you have post ear wires, you can make endless tiny earrings, okay? So there it is. And we will look at them here in a minute when they dry. So we're going to set them to the side. That's pair number 2. Pair number 3, super simple again. You're going to need 2 fishhook ear wires, 2 pieces of filigree. This one's got a jump ring on it, and it should not already have a jump ring on it, which I would keep, but it's a different jump ring than I'm going to be using. Okay, so we've got 2 pieces of filigree, 2 fishhook ear wires, and 2 little acrylic flower cabochons, and 2 jump rings, okay? So easy. So all we're going to do here is we're going to take our little E6000 on our toothpick. We are going to put some on the back of our flower, and we're just going to set it right down here in the middle of this filigree. Isn't that pretty? It changes the whole look of the filigree when you add the little flower. And you don't need a lot of glue for this, okay? It will definitely, it'll dry. It doesn't take much at all, okay? So you can wait a while if you want to, but for, you know, to let that set up, it takes about 20 minutes for it to set up really pretty good. But for the video's sake, I'm going to go ahead. And I'm just going to take my little jump ring, hook my ear wire on, and see if I can do this without messing it up. I may have to let it set up for a minute. Nope, I can do it. Okay, so the one thing that we have to do that I didn't do, we have to make sure our ear wire is going to be facing right. So let's hang this guy on here, and then you can kind of see how it's going to hang, and you can put your ear wire facing back. Now, is this going to be, let me just do this and see. I always have to do it and look. I think it's going to be okay. Yeah. I was thinking I may need another jump ring, but I don't. It's facing the right way. So we're going to close it up. And here is what you'll have. Just a very, very tiny, dainty little dangly earring. Just like this. Okay, and it's very tiny. Now, if your earring happens to be hanging wrong, you can hold this and twist the loop with your plier, which is what I needed to do, and now it's hanging just like it needed to be. Okay, just like that. And if you didn't want it to be this long, you could actually just hook this right onto your ear wire. You wouldn't even have to use the jump ring. I think these are really, really cute. So let's do that with this one. You can use any acrylic flower. You can, I mean, just anything that you've got is going to work for this. Anything flat on the back, you can glue it right onto a piece of filigree. It's going to make your filigree look completely different than it already does. It just dresses it up a whole lot. See if I can do this without messing my flower up too much. Normally I would let it sit and dry for a few minutes, but for the sake of the video, I'm just going to go ahead and try to get it on here. Okay, close it up. Make sure they're closed really good because that filigree is thin. And then I'm going to need to twist my ear hook. So I'm just going to turn it. Just take my plier and turn it just like that. And now it's hanging just like I need it to. So isn't that a cute little pair of earrings? Really, really adorable. And I hope I wasn't off camera for that. I may have been. I'm really sorry if I twisted that off camera. Okay, really cute though. There they are. And so quick and simple. So there is our third little pair of earrings. Okay, so now we've got earring number 4. So say you have some filigree or some metal like this. This is filigree, but it doesn't have the holes in it, okay? So all you're going to need are a couple of post ear wires, and I'm telling you, post ear wires are awesome for small earrings, people that want to make them. So all you need to do here, we're going to glue our flower in first. So let's take your glue, and look at these little flowers. Aren't they adorable? We're going to glue them right in the middle of this. Okay. Just like that. Isn't that pretty? I mean, it changes the whole look of it. And I think I'm going to let these sit for a minute before we go ahead and glue the posts on the back, so we'll come back to them. I just want to make sure that this has a chance to dry a little bit, because if I tip it upside down and then try to glue the post on the back, it is going to mess this one up. So let's set them in there like we want them to be. And we'll just set this aside and let it dry for a minute. We'll come back and glue the posts. But that's going to be earring number 3. Earring number 4. So here is another style of post ear wire. This is it's a cupped. It's like you can set a stone down in it. And I've got some 29 SS rhinestones that I am going to use. And I'm just going to set them right down in here, just like this, and I'm going to glue them. So you could use, you could actually even glue a bead in here if you wanted to. But of course the rhinestones are meant to go in here because they have the point. And you just stick it right in there. It's okay if a little glue comes out the side. That does not matter. We'll fix that later. And I'm just going to turn it upside down on my little thing. Just set it right like that. Okay? Same with the other one. Put a little glue in here. We're going to pick it right up and set it right on here. Now what I'm using to do this is beeswax on the end of a toothpick. I got the beeswax at Hobby Lobby. It's in the leather working section. And it's perfect for picking up rhinestones and really any little thing that you need just to be able to pick up a precise little thing. So here's our next pair. We're just going to let them dry for a minute. Okay. The next pair, say you have charms. Do you have charms and you would like to make a pair of earrings out of them, but you don't really want a whole lot of dangle going on? So here we do. Let me get this different charm. This one's kind of messed up. It's missing part of its enamel. I don't know if I have another one. I don't. We'll just go with it. I'll take a Sharpie and fill it in. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we've got a couple of post ear wires again. We have our little charm. And I've got a teeny tiny little ball head pin and some fire polish beads, okay? Now, if you didn't want to make a dangle, you could cut this off and just glue this post on here and you would be done. But I'm going to make this little dangle. So I'm just going to take my ball head pin just like we did before. This is a good way to use up these teeny tiny ball head pins if you have some of these really short ones because they are kind of a pain. I'm going to show you how to put it on there before you make your wrapped loop. So go ahead, go over like this, and then when you go to rotate your pliers, go ahead and stick this right up in here. Okay, so there it is. It's right on there, and then we're going to take our plier and we're just going to bring it on around just like we would if we were rotating it with our plier in there. Okay, just like that. Then we're just going to wrap a couple of times. I don't want to do a whole lot of wrapping, just a couple little wraps just for security, that's all. And this can be a little fiddly, but you can do it. Just go around. Just like that. You can hold your bead in your hand and do it. These are so thin that they're very easy to just wrap with your fingers. I'm going to cut that off, and there's what we've got. It's adorable. Okay, so then I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to take my glue, put some on my post, and as you can see, I've used this before to glue on. You want to get a little bit of glue if your charm has kind of like, this one has a little bit of a concave little spot in there. I want to make sure there's plenty of glue, but you're just going to glue your charm right to it. You can do this with any charm pretty much. So we're going to do the same thing with the other one. We're going to make our little wrapped dangle. So again, just bend this 90 degrees. We're going to go up and over, and before we rotate it on around, we're going to slip our little starfish on it, just like this. Then I'm just going to take it on around. I'm going to hold my bead here, and I'm just going to wrap a couple of times just for security. And again, I'm sorry, I know you cannot see what I'm doing, but there's really, it's not easy to do this without my hand being in the way. You just want to hold it and just wrap it around just enough to where, you know, it's not going to fall off. Your wire's not going to come loose. And I think that should do it. And I'm just going to give it a little trim right there, okay? So there is our little starfish with the dangle. Really, really cute. I'm going to turn him over, get a little glue. We're just going to put quite a bit on there because this charm has a little indentation there, and I want to be sure that the post sticks really good. Okay, and just put it right down on the middle of your little charm, whatever little charm you're using. So we'll set those aside and let them dry for a minute, and I'll show you the next pair. Okay, this pair is super easy. Now these are little hoops. Okay, these are hoops with this little loop right here, which means you can hang something from it. Now these are teeny tiny dainty little hoops. They are not huge. And I'm using these half ball post ear wires, okay? So they're going to hook right onto here. So here is all we're going to do for this one. I've got some beads, and I've got some teeny tiny jump rings. Look at these. They are so small. And I've got my ear wires, my half ball ear wires. These are on my website if you're interested in them. And I just have an assortment of pretty beads here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ball head pin, put on my little tiny bead, this bigger bead, and this. Nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. I'm going to put on this bead, then this bigger bead, then this tiny bead. I can't remember how I had done it before. Okay, so here's what we have. Just a cute little dangle. That's all it is. You can use any bead you want. I'm just using small ones because we're trying to keep these earrings small. Okay, and then we're going to take this, bend it at a 90-degree angle. Take our plier, go, oh my goodness, my ball head pin broke. Ah, okay, let me grab another one. Okay, the things that happen when you're filming, usually they don't break like that, but that one must have been weak. Okay, putting my beads back on. There we go. Again, we're going to bend it at a 90-degree angle. Come up and over around those pliers right here in the loop. Come up and over. Now I'm going to go on around like this, but I'm not going to close it because I want to put this right on this loop. So I'm going to go ahead and insert it right into, you may have to open your loop slightly, but I'm going to go ahead and just put it right in my loop like this. Now this is going to be a little fiddly, but you can do it, okay? We're going to take this wire and we're going to go right inside here, and we're just going to wrap a couple of times. So let me get my piece back on there. It has come loose. I didn't want to hang this from a jump ring. That's the thing, because there's not a whole lot of room in here to start with, and you know, I don't want the jump ring to have to be in the way to make it longer than it already is. So we're just going to go through a couple times and wrap this. These head pins are so thin that you should be able just to bend it like that with your pliers and just take it around a couple of wraps. That's all we need, are a couple of wraps, just to make sure that it's secure. Okay, so there we have it. 2 wraps, and it's a little fiddly at first, but you can do it. You just make it do what you want it to do. Okay, and then if there's any little piece sticking out, which it looks like there is on mine, you just want to kind of bend it around with your plier. And there's what we have. Okay, now we're going to take our teeny tiny little jump ring, and I'm going to go ahead and hook this to the ear wire with my teeny tiny little jump ring. Now if you have ball post ear wires that have the loop that opens, then you can just hook it right on to your loop and not use the jump ring, but these don't, and I don't have any that do. I did used to, but I don't know what happened to them. I guess I used them all. Okay, close your little jump ring back up. Make sure it's really closed up. These little thin ones, you got to make sure they're really closed up good. And there you have an adorable little earring. It's really cute, really delicate and dainty and tiny. And if you wanted, you could glue a little crystal right there. That would be really pretty. I should have done that. I didn't even think about it. So let's make the other one. Yeah, I did use my True 2 on there. Okay, here we go. I guess I had an extra one pulled out for some reason. I don't know. Okay, so here we go again with this loop. So we're just going to go 90 degrees right here. Take our round nose pliers. You could put it on right here if you wanted to. I find it's a little bit easier when you're doing it on this hoop to kind of go on around with your circle, but if you find it easier to do it like we did the last one and not go all the way around with your circle, you can. Okay, so I got it on here. Now I'm just going to take my pliers and I'm just going to manhandle this wire and make it wrap a couple of times through this loop. Okay, so there's 1. And 1 more time. And see, these are pretty bendy. I don't know why that other one broke on me. It must have been already weakened or something in that spot. Okay, now I'm going to cut this right off right here, and there we have it. Just going to hook it on with my little teeny weeny jump ring here. And these are so thin, sometimes it's hard to see where they open. Just put it right on here and close it up really good. Okay, it is not closed up really good. There we go, that's better. And there they are. These are so cute, so dainty and cute, little tiny things. And I may go ahead and glue a crystal on there in a little bit, just right there on that spot, just to hide it. So aren't those cute though? Teeny tiny. Okay, so that's our next pair. Now, say you don't have a charm. Say you have a bead. This is actually a bead, if you can see. It has a hole, and this goes right through it. But I want to wear it just as a little earring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue. I've got a little crystal here. And you'll be surprised, just one little tiny crystal can add so much to something like this. Just that little bit of sparkle. Now this is just a golden shadow. It'll, you know, it's not a bright color or anything. You could do anything you wanted. But I'm just going to glue that little crystal right on there. And it just adds so much to my little starfish. It makes them so cute. Then I'm going to flip these over, and I'll be careful doing this because your crystal's still kind of wet, but just be gentle. And I'm going to take my post. This is a tinier post, but and I'm just going to place it right in the middle on the back of this starfish bead. So any bead you've got that's got a flat surface like that, you could do this to. Okay, and we're just going to let them dry for a minute, and then I will bring them back out here in a minute and show them to you. So that's the next pair. All right, say you've got some of these check Hawaiian flowers. I love these things so much. I'm like addicted to them, and I've got 1,000,001 of them, and I don't ever use them for anything. I really need to start using them more. So today, if you have a post ear wire and a little E6000, you have an instant little stud earring. And these come in so many colors and finishes, and they're just beautiful. Beadbox Bargains, or Beadbox Bargains has some on their site, or they did the other day. I'm assuming they still have some. But look what a cute little stud it makes. You could glue a little crystal in the middle of that as well. So just get your little ear wire, your post on there, and we'll set those aside for a moment. Told you these were going to be easy. All right, here we have a couple of little posts. And do you have any rhinestone rondelles like these? Do you have some 19 SS or a little, I think these are maybe 20 SS, little chatons? So here's another instant pair of earrings. You take your little post, go ahead and glue it on the back right here. Now these have to be tiny posts unless you've got bigger rondelles, which some people do. I'm just going to get a little more glue out. Stick this one on. And we'll go ahead and let this dry for a minute, and then I'll come back and we'll glue the crystals in. Okay? And you'll see how cute they are. This is super easy as well. So we've got a couple of ball post ear wires here and a bunch of little rings. Okay? So I've got these stars. I've got some rose gold rings. I've got some bronze rings, some copper, and these big silver. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to take a silver ring, layer it with this one, put this one here, and this one on top. Then we're going to take our little copper ring. We're going to catch all of these in the copper ring like this, and we're going to hook it right to our ear wire. So this is a multi-metal little ring earring. Get my ear wire to get out of the middle of there. And there you have it. It's really super cute. It just, I mean, they just hang. There's like all these little rings and stuff. They're just really cute and tiny and barely dangly. So let's do the other one. I'm going to do my star first, my copper ring, and these will probably get out of order eventually. I mean, they'll move around a little, but that's okay. Put my little ball post ear wire on, close it right up, and there we have it. Really, really cute. You could do this if you had all different sizes of rings. I mean, they have a lot of movement to them, and they're just really cute and would match a lot of different things because of the different metals. So there is our next pair. Okay. So do you have a couple of these things and you don't know what to do with them? They are bracelet reducers or chandeliers. We're going to use them for chandeliers, and we're going to make teeny tiny chandeliers. Okay. So all chandelier earrings don't have to be huge. But if you like the look of a chandelier earring, but you still like small earrings, I'm going to show you something really cute. So these are some fluorite chips. You can use any gemstone chips. You just want to make sure that they're small if you want to keep your earring small, of course. And you need a couple of these guys. Now, you don't have to use just these. You can use any chandelier you want, but I just stuck with these because they're little. So I'm going to put 3 chips on each ball head pin. We're still using the ball head pins because they're incredibly tiny. Okay, we're going to go ahead, bend this 90 degrees, come right over here, rotate this up, and I'm going to go ahead and put it right on my little chandelier finding. I'm going to bring it around like this. Again, it can be a little fiddly, but this one, you can kind of hold this with your pliers because you can get in there a little easier. And then I'm just going to wrap a couple of times. And it does not have to be neat. These can be messy wraps. I think it kind of adds to the character of these earrings when the wraps are a little bit messy. And there's our first little dangle. We're going to do another one. I think these are just too cute. They really are cute. Let's see this little green guy. Whoops, we got two green guys. Let's do this one. And then this one. Okay, so there's the next little dangle. Go 90 degrees. Up and over. Insert it right on. So this is what you can do with all those chips you've got that you don't know what to do with. Because I have a lot of chips and I'm like, what am I going to do with all these? I mean, I can make big chandelier earrings with them too. You can do the same concept in a big earring. And I've done that. I have a couple pairs of those that I like really well. I have a rose quartz pair, and I can't remember what the other one is, but I'm going to have my little chip right here and just wrap a couple of times. Okay, trim it up. Now you can hang these on jump rings if you want, but I didn't really want to. I just wanted them to be really tiny. Okay, and one more. Let's see. Let's do this guy on the bottom and this green one. I'm not really trying to, I'm not going to worry about making them match up a whole lot. I'm just trying to kind of randomize it a little bit. So we've got this one now. Same thing as we did with the others. We're just going to bend it 90 degrees. Up and over. Put this little guy on. Oh, my chip's in the way. There we go. Bring this on around. It is kind of hard to bring it on around if you don't get a hold of that right. So I just tend to take my finger. Oh, one of my chips came off. Yeah, that'll happen too. And my hair wire. My thing broke. Okay. Fail. Epic fail number 2. Okay. So sometimes your little chips, if they don't have the hole drilled right in the middle, will crack. And that one did. So we're going to have to do another one, which is fine. We'll just do this again. So you kind of want to be careful. I saw that it was close to the edge, but I was hoping. See, this one is close to the edge too. We'll see if it survives this. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. It just depends. That one couldn't take it. That's one of the problems with chips. I'll go ahead and bring it on around and then try to put him on, and maybe that'll make it a little easier on the chip. I don't know. I've got more back there. I just hate to have to drag them out right now. Okay. Let me see if I can wrap it without breaking him off. And it would definitely be easier just to hook these on with jump rings, but like I said, I was trying to keep them really tiny and show you guys how you can make some really small earrings with things that you wouldn't really expect, like a chandelier finding. There we go, we got it. Let me cut him without breaking him off. Cut this wire without breaking him off. Yeah, sometimes the little chips, they just don't drill them really well. The hole in the center doesn't get in the center very well sometimes. And they will crack and break off if you're not careful. There we go. Okay. So there we have it. Now we're just going to take our little jump ring right here. These little oval jump rings are on my website too. I really like them. I just really like them. I don't know. They seem secure to me because they're oval shaped and just doesn't seem like they would fall off as easily as round ones like open up and fall out. And we're just going to put our little post on and close this right up. Whoops. Just like that. And you have a little pair of chip chandelier earrings. Aren't they cute? They're quite adorable. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video and do the other pair so you don't have to sit here and watch me. I'll be right back. Okay, so here they are. These teeny tiny little mini chandelier earrings. They are so super cute. I love those. All right, so now we've got some chandelier findings. So say you've got something like this. Just some really cute chandelier findings. I've got a couple of bicones here. I've got some little 19SS rhinestones, a couple of ball head pins, and 2 post ear wires. So let me show you what we're going to do with these. First of all, we're going to glue on our, we're going to glue all of our little crystals in, okay? So as you can see, this has got 4 little loops right here. And actually we're going to make let's make our little bicone dangle first. So we're just going to take the ball head pin, put our bicone on, and we're going to make the same little dangles that we've been making, okay? So just the little wrap loop dangle. So I'm just going to go over 90 degrees, come up and around, and over. And I'm just going to go ahead and slip it on one of these little loops here on my chandelier finding. Now you can use any chandelier finding that you have, okay, that's got a little flat spot on it for you to glue your posts on. That's all you need. Okay, I'm just going to wrap this a couple of times for security. I am going to trim it off. And we've got a teeny tiny little dangle here. Okay. Now we're going to take our glue and our toothpick, and what I'm going to do is I am going to pick this up and hold it by this little dangle, and I'm just going to put a dab of glue on all of these little points right here. Now you could use flat crystals as well. You don't have to have the pointed backs, but I just do, so that's what I'm going to use. But you could use little flat 12s as well. I'm going to set these right in the little hole. I'm just putting the point in the little hole. These are not even Swarovski crystals, guys. These are just little plastic crystals that I got like on AliExpress or something. I mean, they're super cheap. But of course you could use Swarovski. We're just going to let that dry for a second. Isn't it pretty though? And we're going to do the other one. So let's go ahead and do our little loop. I'm telling you, if you have posts, the possibilities are endless with what you can do. These flat posts, you can glue just about anything to them and make an earring. It doesn't have to be, you know, it's just super easy to do. You can use charms, you can use just about anything. All right, we're going to go ahead and put this one on. I don't know what Chris is listening to downstairs. I'm sure you guys can hear it. He's got this place, like, I mean, it is so loud sometimes when he plays his music. He likes it really loud. I'm sure our neighbors are like, what are you people doing over there? Okay, so we're just going to do the same thing here. Take our little glue and dab. And you can use, I mean, be a little bit generous with your glue because you want your rhinestones to stay in there pretty good. I mean, don't use a huge honking amount, but just a little bit. You just want it kind of you want it to have something to adhere to for sure. Okay, there's 1, there's 2, and here's number 3. And just set them in there, make sure they're sitting flat. Okay, and we're just going to turn it over. Well, if we don't get it stuck to our finger, we're just going to turn it right over like this, okay? And then we're going to take our little post. Get yourself a good bit of glue on there. And we're just going to press it right down gently, because you don't want to mess up your rhinestones on the front. But very gently, just press it right down on that flat spot. There's my other one. There it is. And get a little more glue. My toothpick is looking pretty sad right there. Okay. Let's go ahead and put him right on here too. And we're just going to set these aside and let them get a little bit dry before we mess with them. Okay, so look at these beautiful beads that Beth Sullivan sent me. They are stunning. She is a polymer clay artist, and I'm telling you, she makes some beautiful, beautiful beads. And I've been wanting to use these in a pair of earrings for a long time, so we're going to do that today. So I've got 2 of these ear wires that have this fancy thing on the end. Now, I got to give credit to my former coworker and friend, Mandy, because Mandy did a video showing how to make these ear wires out of these. Now, she used an eye pin, but because we're doing tiny earrings and we don't want to dangle, we're going to use a head pin. And I will link Mandy's video in the description box below. You guys go check her out. She's awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to put our bead right on this ear wire. And this little one, if it'll fit. It may not. Oh, it does. Okay, good. Okay, so here's what we've got. Now, we're going to take our round nose pliers, and we're going to go about halfway here. And we're just going to use the big bend in our round nose pliers here to kind of just bend that in half about that much. Okay, then we're going to take our chain nose pliers and give it a sharper turn and push it down. Okay. Now, I want this to be a little more rounded. Mandy did hers differently, but she didn't already have her bead on here. It's a little harder when you've already got your bead. So I'm just going to take this and kind of just smush it down over the edge of this, over the edge of my little chapstick container. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to bend it even sharper, just like that. And now we have the ear wire that I was looking for, the shape of the ear wire. You can bend it a little sharper if you want and pull it back a little. Okay, and here is what we've got. And you need to kind of just mess with it. You need to bend it around however you want it to be. I really want that to be a little sharper, but I want this to be a little more rounded. And you can take your bottle or your chapstick container or whatever you've got. You just need something small and round. And put it back on there and just bend it until you get it like you want it to go. Okay. There we go. That's a little bit better. I want that round look to it, but I want it to be sharper here. Okay. And we'll pull it back a little bit. And then all you need to do is trim this off a little bit. You probably don't want it to be that long. You need to trim it off a little bit right here. And then just take it and file it with a little file on the end here. I'm not going to do that right here on the screen, but just take it and file the end a little bit, and you've got a really cute pair of earrings. This goes right in your ear, and it sits like this, and you've got your little bead. It's beautiful. So let's do this other one. This one I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bend this around the chapstick container first and see if that makes it a little easier. So I'm just going to bend it all the way around like this. And then I'm going to kind of straighten it up and put my bead on. Okay, and it's kind of tricky, but it will go on if you just slide it a little bit. Put this on. Okay, and now I'm going to bend it back over my container a little bit, my chapstick container. It's easier when you're not trying to put your bead on first, but I didn't really see any other way. And then we're going to take this right here and we're just going to make it go into the point. And there, that works a little better if you put your chapstick container on first. And here we have it. Okay, 2 really cute little earrings. I'm going to trim this one up just a tad. And then, like I said, you can take your file and file that to where it's not real sharp. But yeah, it definitely looks better if you put the chapstick container on first. Chapstick container. Okay, and there they are. And I love these beads. They're by Beth Sullivan. and she's amazing, okay? She posts things all the time in my Facebook group. And I will link Mandy's video where she does these in the description box below. But there they are. Aren't they cute? Whoops, I just dropped one. All right, so that's the next pair. Now we're going to use some Heishi beads, okay? So I have these on my website too if you're interested in buying them. I've got them in tons of different colors. And we've got these little hoops and some ball post ear wires. Now these hoops, these little things come out on one side. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take our Heishi beads and just randomly, I'm not doing them in any certain order, I'm just going to pick them up and start loading them on. Sadie's losing her mind. I don't know what she's barking at. Sorry. She barks and barks and barks. So I'm just going to load these guys on in no particular order. Okay. Pull them around. I love these colors together. They were very oceany, I thought. Don't know what Sadie's barking at out there. She's not stopping though. Sorry guys. She's downstairs and I've actually got the door closed, but she's pretty loud. So we're just going to load a bunch of these guys on. These are so lightweight. I love them. They're made out of polymer clay. And they come in such beautiful, beautiful colors. And these are going to be very lightweight, tiny, easy to wear, cute little earrings. Probably don't need another lime green one there. Okay. And you can load on as many as you want. You can fill up the entire ring if you want. See, there they are. I really like these. I think these are so cute. I'm going to put on a couple more. Okay. Yeah, right about there looks good. And then you just take this and slide it back in this little tube. It's on the ear wire. You got to make sure you get it in there. Yeah, this one bent open just a little bit, but you slide it back in the tube and then you take your flat nose pliers and you close this up. Let me close it a little bit because it's coming out. Okay, slide it back in there and just take your flat nose pliers and crimp that closed. And if you can't get it to stay, just push it in with this finger while you're holding it with this other hand and then just kind of close it up. And if you just crimp that with your flat nose pliers, it'll stay. Okay? And there you have a really, really cute pair of polymer clay Heishi bead earrings. I'm just going to do both sides down here. I don't think the one side you even have to do, but I'm going to just to be safe. Okay, so then we're going to take our little jump ring. We're going to hook it right on here. Hook our little ball post ear wire on. And the reason I'm using ball post on so many of these is just because they're shorter, you know. You could use a fish hook, you could use anything. But look how cute those are. Really adorable. You could glue something there if you wanted, a crystal or a little Heishi bead or whatever. But really, really cute. So let's do the other one really quick. I'm not even going to worry about doing them the same, guys. I'm just loading the beads on. Not even in any order, because there's just no need to really, I mean, you can if you want to make them exactly the same, but yeah, I don't have the energy for that. And they're kind of hard. They're kind of fiddly to get. You have to hold that open. And as you can see, it's got a little hole here, like you could dangle something, a little tiny bead if you wanted to, or just whatever. You could dangle down on there. But I'm just going to do the little polymer clay beads right now. These are so lightweight. They're really, I think, depending on the colors you pick, they're pretty, really very summery and pretty. Okay. And I'm just adding a bunch of them on here. I'll hold it up here in a minute and make sure that I have them even. Just so you know, you've got the kind of the same amount on each one. They don't have to match exactly. unless you want them to. If you want to sit here and count them out, more power to you. I don't want to. All right. They're so cute. Love these colors together. I think adding some pinks in would be really cute here too. Just like one hot pink bead every, 3 or 4 blue beads. One hot pink one would be kind of cute. Give it a little splash of brightness. Okay, so a couple more and then we're good. So let's do a lime green. Whoops. And one of these. Okay. Then I'm just going to put it back in here in the little crimping spot. Shove it in. You kind of have to make it go sometimes, especially if you've pulled it out of shape like I have. Trying to get the beads on. You can take your pliers and shove it in if you can't get it in. There we go. That's a lot easier. Okay. And just take them and crump it down. And there they are. Those are so cute. Let me hook my little ear wire on here. And here we go. Aren't those adorable? They are so cute and very summery. So there is our next pair. I'm having trouble staying on screen today. All right, now let me get these little Heishi beads out of the way. Okay, now this one is super easy. We're gonna make a bunch of dangles. Actually, let's do this next one first, so it'll be having time to dry. So this one right here, these are the bigger version of these that we made earlier that we're gonna look at here in a minute. But these are the bigger version of them. They come in these big sizes. These are for a Rivoli, which I have a couple here. These are 12mm Rivolis. Now these come with a little loop on the bottom. You could hang something from it if you wanted to, but I'm gonna cut that off, okay? We're just not gonna hang anything from this. It's just gonna be very simple and small. So you can just cut that loop right off of there. And then we're going to take our glue, and you guessed it, that's all we're going to do. We're just going to glue them right in here. And you've got an absolutely gorgeous pair of earrings. And look at the depth in those Rivolis. And these Rivolis come in so many colors. So I'm just going to turn that upside down like that so it'll sit like it's supposed to. Add some glue to this one. And pop it right in there. And we're just going to let these sit for a few minutes. We're going to revisit all these right here in just a minute. We're almost done. Okay, so then we've got this right here. So say, I just got glue all over my bead mat. Okay, so say you've got some really pretty beads you'd like to use. And we have a couple jump rings, a couple of fish hooks, and a bunch of little ball head pins. And what we're going to do, dump out a few of these. Look how pretty these are. These are true 2s, and these are 4mm fire polish. We're just going to make some little dangles, okay? So I'm just going to put some on here randomly. Now these are going to be wrap loops, but you don't have to put them on before you wrap them. We're just going to wrap them first, and then we're going to put them on this little ring here in a minute. So just go ahead and make your little loop. It's a lot easier this way than trying to put it on the loop, but sometimes you have to. Okay, wrap it up. And I'm going to do them all a little bit different. So that one I did, a couple of the true 2s. This one I'm just going to do a fire polish. Okay. Wrap those loops up. They can be tiny loops because they're just going to fit on a jump ring. And go ahead and make a bunch. I'm going to make like 6 for each earring, and I will be right back. Okay, so here I've got 12 little dangles. All I'm going to do, and I did not make them all the same. It's just random. I just made them random. I'm going to open up my jump ring. This is a 6mm jump ring. And I'm going to hang 6 on each one. So 1, and I am going to try to make sure that I don't put all the same ones on. You know, I've got some that have like 3 of those. I'm going to try to just randomize them a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more. Let's do this guy, 5 and 6. Okay, I'm going to take this, hook it right onto my fishhook ear wire, and I've got a really cute, tiny little cluster earring. Adorable. Okay, so let's do the same thing to the other one. These are such pretty little beads too. I've got glue on my finger now. 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops, 4, 5. I hope that'll go on there. That's a tiny little loop. Oh goodness. Yeah, it will. Barely. 5 and 6. Okay, hang it right on our fish hook. And there we have it. 2 really cute, teeny tiny pairs of cluster earrings. Aren't they adorable? All right, so do you have some large hole beads? These European large hole beads. We've all got them. Half of us don't know what to do with them. I don't know what to do with them most of the time. So we're going to make 2 pair of earrings here because these are super quick and easy. So these are the large hole beads. These are 6mm bicones. All you do is take your head pin, bicone, large hole bead, bicone, just like this. We're just going to make a regular loop, not a wrapped loop, because these jump rings are thicker. So we don't really have to worry too much about them coming undone. But these don't open, these ball head pins, so we do need to... Oh, I'm thinking of the wrap loop. Never mind, we're not making the wrap loop. We can just open these right up and hang them on. Yep. So then you just open this right up, hang it right on your ball head pin, close it up, and look at it. Isn't it adorable? You have a really cute little pair of earrings using your large hole beads. So here's a black one, same thing. These little 6mm bicones fit perfectly down in most of these large hole beads. Okay, let's roll this loop back. It spins on there. Put it right on our ball head pin. Okay, just like that. They look like little lanterns. I think they're really cute. Okay, and if you're like me and look at these with large hole beads, look how pretty these are. I mean, I would love to be able to get some use out of these, but I just don't really use them a lot. So this is a great way to do it. And I didn't grab out 2 more ear wires, but we'll go ahead and just make them and roll the loops, and then I'll add ear wires later. Okay, so look how pretty that is. What a beautiful little earring that makes. And you can use up all those large hole beads that are so pretty that are just sitting in your stash. And they're tiny. Not big, not bulky, not dangly, not chandeliers, nothing like that. Just little quick. I mean, look how quick I made these. If you're doing a craft show, oh my goodness, these would probably sell really well. I mean, I don't have hardly any time or anything in them. You could sell them for really cheap, and look how pretty they are. So that's another pair. All right, last but not least, guys, do you have any squares? Look at these little square beads. These are pink or red coral, and they're so pretty. And I've got a little bit of, I believe this is 32 gauge wire, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up through the middle of my bead here. I'm just going to wrap this wire around the bead 3 or 4 times. Going to go right around this part that's sticking up 3 or 4 times, just like that. I'm going to cut this off. Okay. And then I'm just going to make a wrapped loop, just like we've been doing. Okay, up and over and around. What do I have to hang these on? Oh, levers. Okay, that's good. So I can go ahead and wrap my loop because these lever backs will open. I don't have to try to get it in there before. You could use a little bit thicker wire even if you wanted to, but this is what I had out, so this is what I'm using, but it's very, 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 very thin. I'm going to cut this off and tuck in any loose bits. Because I do have some loose bits right there. Just don't want them to snag on anything. There we go. Okay, then we're just going to open our lever back right here. Now, I always get confused with these, so make sure that you're putting it in the right way. This part goes in your ear. I always get confused. I guess with these it doesn't matter because they're not, doesn't matter if you're using the front or the back. Well, actually it does because I've got it wrapped 3 times on the front. I want that to be the part that shows. So I'm going to stick that right in there and close it right up. And I did not get that little piece tucked, did I? So you get the idea though. You want to tuck those little pieces in. And there we have a really cute little earring. Look at that. Little modern looking. And you can take your pliers even and do some little, if you grab these and do some little twists in them. Like this. Makes them look really cute. So you can take your little pliers and just grab those and do some little kinks in this wire, and it's just really cute. Or you can leave it straight like you had it. Either way. But look at that. Isn't that adorable? So, grab my wire. We're going to do this one more. And then we're just going to look back at some of these ones that we've done that are dried now. So let's go ahead. 1, 2, 3. And around a couple of times. Well, 4 or 5 times. Okay, cut that off. Make our wrapped loop. Up and over and around. Little wrapped loop here. And I really probably should have used a little bit thicker wire, but this is what I had laying out. So you might, yeah, you probably want to use a little bit thicker wire. I mean, I'm not going to sell these or anything, but if you did, you definitely, this wire is way thin for this, but probably a good, I don't know, 22 gauge would be good. I've got about 10 gauge too thin on here, so go back about 10 to 22 and that probably would be pretty good for you. All right, or even 20 probably would work. Okay, let me twist that around, it's backwards. There we go. And then you can kink it a little bit if you want to. Just add some character to it, I think. To give it some little kinks in there, little twists and turns. But it's kind of hard to get a hold of it, so I'm not going to make you sit and watch me struggle to do it, because you did just watch me struggle to do it a minute ago. So anyway, there they are. Those are really cute, light, simple, quick, easy little earrings. So let's look at everything. So we have these, our coral ones, with the wire wrapping. They're kind of modern looking, but they're tiny. We have our little large whole bead earrings. These are adorable, I think. Love them. Okay, then we've got these guys. Now these guys are glued really well. Okay, so we're just going to flip them over and glue the post on the back. And when you do, you have a beautiful little stud earring. Lightweight, polymer clay. Let me just go ahead and glue these on real quick. So you just take your little stud and glue it right on here. Push it down. And like I said, when they dry, you've got a beautiful little pair of stud earrings. So, I mean, people, if you've got these studs, you can make any kind of, I mean, tons and tons of small earrings. They're just so easy to make with these studs because you can glue just about anything to them. So there's that one. Then we've got our little polymer clay ones. I love these little Heishi bead ones. These are so, so cute. So love those. Okay, we've got our little kidney with our freshwater pearls. These are really cute too. Okay, we've got our little ear wire ones that we made. I don't see the other one. Oh, it's here somewhere. But anyway, here this one is. We have our little clusters right here. We have our little mother of pearl shell posts, and look how pretty these are. These are done now. That's all you do is glue the post on the back and they're finished. Aren't they beautiful? Perfect. We've got our little starfish charm ones. So any charm you have, you can just glue a post on the back. You can use the loop for the dangle, or you don't have to. You could cut that loop right off, but aren't those cute? Little starfish. We have our very first ones we made are our flowers on the filigree hanging from the fish hooks. I'm trying to pick the other one up. It won't let me. Okay, there we go. So these, I think these are just so pretty, and the filigree looks so different when you add the little flower to the middle. So there those are. We have our little 39 millimeter, or 29, I keep saying 39. Now, if you see your glue comes out, when it's set up like this, you can take your pliers, or you can just take your fingers, and if there's any glue sticking out here, you just grab it and pull it, and it comes right off. See that? And then you have a beautiful little sparkly pair of studs. These are so pretty. Just grab that glue and it peels right off, and then you can take your jewelry cleaning cloth and shine them up. And look how pretty they are, just little studs. Okay, we've got our little starfish that we put the rhinestone in the middle. Now these are beads. See the little hole for the bead, and we just glued a post on and made little stud earrings out of them. We have our Hawaiian check flowers. These are so pretty. They make such pretty little earrings. Just glued studs on the back of those. We have our little chandelier finding here that we glued some rhinestones in and put a little Bicone Dangle. Aren't those pretty? Look at that. Perfectly easy to do. So there they are. We have our little hoop ones right here with the little dangle, tiny dangle that we put in the middle. That's these. I love these. They're so, so pretty. Look at that. Beautiful little earrings. And so tiny. I mean, those are about the size of a nickel. We have our chandelier with our fluorite chips. These are probably the biggest thing we made today. Well, maybe not. The polymer clay ones might be, but look how cute these are. They're little tiny chandelier dangles. I love those. And last but not least, we need to glue our little rhinestone in the middle. So these are our rhinestone rondelles that we've all got laying around. And we're just going to take some glue, put it right here in the middle. Pick up our little pointed back chaton and set it right down in the middle. And look what a cute little sparkly, if you have a second hole, these would be so pretty for your second hole in your ears. I've got a second hole, but I don't put a lot. I mean, I don't usually wear earrings in it, but I like when I do. I like the way it looks. I just don't do it very often because I don't really have a whole lot, but I may put these in there. These are pretty. So you just put your glue in there, and like I said, when it dries, you can just peel it right off around it. But look how pretty those are, and we've all got those rhinestone rondelles laying around. And like I said, these little chatons came from AliExpress. They were so cheap. They're just plastic, but you can't tell. They're beautiful. So that is our 19 pair of tiny earring Blitz. Oh no, wait, we forgot one. We've got this guy right here. These are the ones we made with all the rings. So just a bunch of different rings hooked on a jump ring, hooked on a post. That's all they are. So easy, so simple, so quick. There they are. So yeah, 19 pairs of earrings for people that don't want big earrings. These are tiny, lightweight, easy to do, quick to do, and yeah, it was fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it went a little long, but it's kind of hard to make 19 pairs of earrings in less than an hour. So anyway, I will link Mandy's channel in the description box below. She's the one that did these really cool ear wires that I got the idea from. I will link Beth Sullivan's information. She's the one that makes these beautiful polymer clay beads right here. And I think that's everything that I need to link. And you guys check out my website, because I do have a lot of stuff on my website too that you might enjoy seeing. So I hope you loved the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!